Welcome back. Now that we have understood support and resistance concept, let's look at how we can determine which support or resistance level has more strength. We are sharing here three criterion that you may use to evaluate the relative strength of a support or resistance. These criterion are volume, distance, and time elapsed. Let's look at these one by one to better understand them. Starting with volume. When we say volume, we mean the volume that has been traded at a particular support or resistance level. So when comparing two support levels, if you see that there is a price level where few thousand shares changed hands, while only a few hundred shares changed hands at the other support level, it is reasonable for you to expect that the level with higher number of shares traded will be a stronger support or resistance because there is potentially a larger demand or supply that may emerge around that level. This is simply because a larger number of people might be potentially stuck with a long or short position at that price level, and given an opportunity, they will be very keen at getting out even. The smarter and more experienced ones might even be ready to sacrifice a point or two because they realize that this level is a strong resistance level, with many people stuck with long positions who are also eager to get out, and so the prices may not even reach that level because of the anticipated selling pressure. So to summarize, the higher the volume at a particular level, the more strong support or resistance it may provide. The next important criteria to estimate the strength of support or resistance level is the extent of move after the break of particular support or resistance level. The idea is that if a support level is broken and prices fell below it, then when the prices come back to test this level, which now will be a resistance level, the strength of this resistance will depend on how far the prices fall below before coming back to test this level. The further the prices fall away from this level, the stronger the resistance will be on this level. So for example, here are two different cases in which support levels get broken. As you see in the first case, the fall was further away, so you should expect this first level to provide stronger resistance as prices come back to test it. So in general, the greater the distance prices fall, if prices break below a support level, the greater the resistance from the level when the prices try to retest that level. The next criteria for estimating the strength of resistance of an old support level is the amount of time that has passed since it was formed. In general, a supply point which is only an year or two old will be more effective resistance level compared to a level that is 4 to 5 years old. But this is not to mean that the older resistance level loses all its importance. In fact, you may be surprised to know how effective a very old resistance or support level might be if it hasn't been attacked since it was created. This is because every time a support or resistance level is attacked, it loses some of its potency because some of the overhanging supply or demand would be used up in repelling the attack. So the next time this level is attacked again, it would be less capable in repelling the attack. In such cases, you may look at the subsequent trading volume at those levels and compare it to the trading volume when the support or resistance level was first created. This will help you in determining if the support or resistance level volume has exhausted itself. With this, we have covered the three main factors that you may use to evaluate the strength of the support or resistance. So see you in the next video.